your wife or husband or loved, special, best friend. Think of a time. Just relax and breathe in and close your eyes if you'd like, because after all, you're at home now. You're not driving. You're at home safe. So go ahead and close your eyes and take a breath. And just remember a time when you felt incredibly, enormously, and completely and totally loved. Go ahead, right now. And breathe. Very good, very good. Now I want you to choose a picture in your mind. A picture that reminds you of that feeling of being loved. Completely and totally. Maybe it's that person in your life, a family member, a friend, a lover. Who might it be that makes you feel completely loved? Is it your child? It could be your dog or cat. The point is, it's a deep connection for you that makes you feel totally comfortable and totally and completely loved. Loved without any compromises, just purely, wholly, and completely loved. Good. Now, whatever it is that makes you completely loved, I want you to capture the picture of it. And just rest that picture in your mind and breathe in as you picture that picture. And breathe out as you picture that picture. Now breathe in again. Good. And then you may open your eyes, knowing that you are completely loved. You are not alone. Good. Now, the exercise that we have just done gave you a trigger that you can use anytime you need to feel loved. That picture. Remember that picture. Now, let's say that there comes a time when you feel very lonely or desperate or unsure. You feel isolated. You feel that no one cares for you. In those times, and the often feelings come at random, or they come through a series of events. Let's say something happens where you are rejected socially, rejected by a friend, or scorned by a negative family member. It's at that moment where you can breathe in and just close your eyes for a second and picture that picture of that person that made you feel totally and completely loved, as we just practiced. What do you think is going to happen when you fire off that anchor? These are called anchors, by the way. We're anchoring feelings. Okay? We're anchoring thought feelings. What will happen when you fire off that anchor? Well, here's what will happen. You'll feel loved. That will take over. And then you'll be assured. So what you'll do is, instead of feeling the sorrow of rejection, you'll feel the joy, the comfort, the warmth of being totally and completely loved. That's a really great feeling, a feeling that we all should have. I've heard it said, that scientists have said, that if a baby is born and the baby is not loved, it could be given food and shelter and warmth and clothing and all those things. But if it doesn't actually receive affection and love and hugs and warm talk, that the baby can die. I have heard that. I'm going to track that down and see if that was really a study. I've heard that humans need affection, they need love, when they are infants in order to actually survive. See, it's a strong and important feeling. Now you have it anchored in. Certainly there must be a time when you felt totally and completely loved. And now you know how to tap into it whenever you need it. You have the picture in your mind. You close your eyes for just a second and picture it and breathe it in and you say, I am loved. Now that is a wonderful feeling to have, especially in moments of loneliness or isolation or desperation or rejection. Moments that we all go through. I don't care who you are. You could be the most famous movie star in the world and you're going to have those feelings sometimes, because we're all human beings with emotions and feelings and needs that we're born with. And often we feel, everyone, from the top to the bottom, rich or poor, young or old, feels rejection or loneliness at some point in their life. And so now, by anchoring love, what that does is that gives you the ability to rise above the rejection and to tap within your own inner power, to overcome and see through and realize that I am loved. And if you're loved, you're more likely to be productive and stable. You're more likely to be effective. Do you know that a person, when they feel loved, they're more likely to heal? Think about that. They're more likely to prosper. Okay, so we have anchored in love, which is, interestingly enough, because it's a topic I don't discuss often. How to Find Your Soulmate is going to be in the Ultimate Warrior, Unfair Secrets of Ultimate Warriors course. And we'll also be teaching it at the upcoming Huna, the Secret Path to Power convention. Those are the only two places you'll ever find my teaching on how to find your soulmate. Now, moving on, let's go to the next feeling. Now, this is an important exercise, because when you have these anchors, when you have these abilities to cause a feeling that you want to have, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt nervous? Have you ever felt a lack of confidence? Have you ever felt like you weren't enough in a certain situation? Maybe not strong enough, not confident, or able or knowledgeable enough? I think you know good and well that you have. We all have, and even I have. But I learned a mechanism where I could summon forth inner power, inner confidence, real confidence, not false confidence, but real confidence, where I could summon that forth and bring it up Okay, now I discovered that through the mind teachings of the martial arts. Not so much the physical side, but the mind teachings, the mental and spiritual aspects of the martial arts. And this confidence, this warrior spirit, we call it the indomitable spirit. Recently, Black Belt Magazine asked me, what do you think should be the qualifications for someone to get a black belt? And interestingly enough, I give a list of 5 items. The first on it was not fighting skill. The first on it was not physical ability to fight and knowledge of techniques and tactics, physical fitness. No, the very first thing was indomitable spirit. Because when you have an indomitable spirit, that means an unbeatable spirit. That means a spirit that cannot be dominated. And if you cannot be dominated in your spirit, then you are a free soul who can rise above. You're a true warrior. See, so I was able to summon this forth and be able to apply it and teach others how to do it as well. Now, I want to share it with you, my mastery members, how to have the indomitable spirit, okay? So again, we're doing this practice at home. We're not driving. Okay, you're not driving. You're doing this while you're sitting at home in the comfort of your home, in peace and quiet and safety. I recommend studying these materials alone as well. Very few people have friends or family members who actually enjoy teachings together. A lot of, you'll find if you ever watch teachings by different teachers, whatever it might be, martial arts, philosophy, mind control, you'll find that if you watch with someone, it can distract you. Or they may be cynical, things of that nature. They're usually broke too. Cynicism, pessimism, and judgmentalism usually go hand in hand with a lack of prosperity. Because we are magnets, and when we put out negativity, negativity is a pushing away. When we put out positivity, positivity is a drawing towards. Which had nothing to do with what I'm talking about right now, but somehow someone out there needed that, so you've got it. And in fact, maybe it does indeed tie in, because all things are interconnected. So when we talk about the indomitable spirit and the magnetic force of the indomitable spirit, how do we get there? Well, this is how. I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and just take a deep breath and relax. A deep abdominal breath. Indomitable breath, how's that? Abdominal breath. Indomitable spirit. A nice breath and just relax. And now I want you to remember a time in your life, whenever it might have been, when you felt incredibly strong and powerful. You felt able to overcome any circumstance. Have you ever felt that way in your life? Oh, I'm sure that you have at one point or another. Often as children we feel that way. We feel we can do anything and we play superheroes. Why? Because in our childlike mind and spirit, we know no boundaries. We have imaginations, and that's the creative spirit. That warrior spirit is in the child, and it often only gets erased and programmed over through negative experiences and programming later in life. So this can be an opportunity to reprogram yourself for indomitable spirit, for personal power, for being as strong and able and confident as you could have ever dreamed of being. So right now, as you breathe in, I want you to picture a time in your life when you were totally strong, when you were totally confident, when you were extremely and dynamically powerful and just on fire. You walk into a room and people just feel it. And I know that if you've never had an experience like that in your life, you could certainly imagine it right now, couldn't you? Absolutely you could. You could imagine being strong, powerful. Maybe you saw it in a movie. Maybe you saw the movie star walk into the room and everyone could just sense his confidence radiating from him, radiating like a warm neon light, just radiating confidence, and no one could miss it. Maybe you saw that and you felt that as you watched the movie. You felt that and you identified with that. It made you feel good to see someone strong and powerful and confident. And I know that you can have that same power right now as you breathe and picture it. And I want you to picture yourself perfectly and dynamically confident, powerful, strong in mind, body, and spirit. Right now, breathe it in and picture it. And breathe out into the picture. And breathe in again, picturing it. And you can open your eyes and relax now, knowing that you are strong, and you'll say, I am strong, I am powerful. Doesn't that feel fantastic? Now I want to go out and kick some ass right now, in whatever area you want to in life. That's a wonderful thing. Power, personal power, the ability to do what you want, to know that you can handle whatever you need to handle and accomplish what you want to accomplish. That confidence is dynamic. It's powerful and it's wonderful. Now, whenever you find yourself in a situation where you're nervous, you find that your mouth gets dry, your heart starts beating a little fast, your breathing is shallow. We all know those feelings. We all know how those feelings are. It can happen maybe when you're at work and you get called in the boss's office, and unfortunately you're working on warrior wisdom, so you're going to be your own boss someday. And the wonderful thing is that right now you're in paid training if you have a job. You're in paid training. They're paying you so that you can study, so that you can train, so that you can find your own thing to do and be your own boss. But in the meantime, if you get called in to the boss's office, or let's say there's a competitor at work, someone out for your job, or maybe there's a situation or a person that makes you uncomfortable. Maybe it's a beautiful lady down the hall in the office, and every time you see her, your mouth goes dry, your heart flutters. Okay, whatever the situation might be. Perhaps there's a person who intimidates you or bothers you or scares you or pesters you. That person. Okay, and you feel a little nervousness, a little intimidation. Well, what you're going to do the next time that you're surprised by that person, by that event, by that place, by whatever it is that has triggered a feeling of inadequacy, of insecurity, of intimidation, or of nervousness, okay, or whatever it might be, butterflies in the stomach, a dry mouth, a heartbeat going up fast, whenever you are surprised with that, what you're going to do is just blink and picture that picture of you strong. And you're going to breathe in abdominally, and you're going to say out loud if you can, and if you're in hearing distance, you're just going to say it in your mind, I am powerful, and I am strong. And you're going to take the physiology of a strong person. What's the physiology? What's the body language of a strong person? Are they like this? Are they like this? Are they kind of nervous and scared and smiling? No. They look through you because they are on their way somewhere. They're on their way somewhere, and you're on your way somewhere. So you have no time for the silliness, foolishness, or needs of those energy vampires. So instead of looking at them and being something that you're not, you're going to be what you are strong. You're going to look through their forehead and walk by and go on your merry way and breathe in and say to yourself, I am powerful. I am confident. You can use this before you go in for a job interview, before you go in for a meeting, before you go in for a date, or whatever it might be. You just breathe in and take the natural posture. Okay, what's the natural posture? You're not peacocking, okay? You're not walking around like you're trying to yak it up like the Hulk, okay? But you simply straighten your spine and breathe into your abdomen. Relaxed, yet powerful, like the tiger. The tiger isn't flexed, but you can just see the power, can't you? And it's a wonderful thing, and you have that now too. You have that right now, because whenever you need it, you just picture that picture in your mind of that strong person that you are, and you breathe in the abdomen. And you'll find that just through breathing deeply, you're slowing your breathing so that you become more powerful. This is an actual anchor that I have used in the presence of rock stars when I was very young, and I used to do security and consulting and around Hollywood and ran into rock stars. It was the second or third time or so, and I remember being nervous the prior time. Okay, and these guys were not only my business involvement, but they were some of my heroes from when I was a kid, and then I got to actually work with them. And I remember being nervous a second time, and I didn't like it. So I remember I said to myself, damn it, no way. And I breathed. I hadn't remembered that. Or had I? Was that maybe from the martial arts? You breathe, cha, before you break? Cha! I don't know what it was. But I just breathed in. I went, no way. And I breathed. And it slowed my heart rate. And it slowed my breathing and got my breathing deep from shallow. And all of a sudden I started to relax. And I looked him in the eye and talked business, and it was perfect, and we became friends. And I'm still friends with some of those people to this day because of that one moment. I'll never forget it. I could take you right now in LA to where I was. If the building's still there, I could take you there, okay, and show you the place I was standing and sitting. I remember it so well. I breathed in a new anchor. I breathed in a new thought. I breathed in a new feeling that produced a new behavior, a new action, and got me a new result, okay? And I just remember saying, no way, and I breathed and said, I'm not going to be nervous like that again. And boom, it was gone, just like that, because I drew my line and made up my mind. How about you? Are you ready to draw your line and make up your mind? And I hope you'll join me. Okay, let's continue now. You have it whenever you need it. Just a little catch breath and picturing the picture. See, the picture and the breathing, these two things are important. I'm putting my hand here on my abdomen, on my dandian, right below my belly button, which you can't see in the, probably in the camera, okay? And here, okay, so thought and breath, picture and breath, picturing in my mind's eye. And breathing in, and it changes everything dynamically. This is powerful stuff, my friends. Powerful stuff that you can use right now. I'm giving you the actual how-to. Now, when you have this, when you breathe and you're calm, you find yourself having more options. And you may have heard the old NLP axiom of he who has the most options wins. All of a sudden, you lose desperation. You lose the need. So instead of the need, you simply have the joy, the energy. And this is one of the key roots of the law of attraction that they never tell you. They tell you to think positively, and that's a good thing, but it's not enough. Thinking positively is a white belt. Okay, we need it to hold up our gi. But thinking positively, it's a white belt. We need to get to the advanced levels. We need to go beyond kindergarten, beyond the white belt. We need to get up to the brown belt, the black belt. You see what I mean? In the university, okay? We need to go far. And this is how. Breathing and picturing it. And picturing it. And then you stay open in the mushin, the mind, no mind, and all of a sudden you're at ready. And you're the tiger, and you can do anything you want to do, and you can find yourself happily going about, joyfully going about what used to frighten you. A reversing also occurs here as well. If there was a situation that you found yourself in where you were nervous before, or maybe there was a person that intimidated you or caused you to feel uncomfortable, and actually you caused it, but they were a trigger, yeah, you'll find that all of a sudden it reverses and they become insecure. It's called energetic reversal. It's the reversing technique that I talk about in martial mastery. Energetic reversal occurs. It occurs naturally when you do this. All of a sudden, their energy, it isn't conscious, it's subconscious, their energy goes, huh?